and it's gaining traction. Catalina, tell us all about it.
That's right, Mark. Was Brigitte Macron born a man? This is a rumor, more like a conspiracy theory that has been going around here in France at least since 2021. But the debate just resurfaced this month and has been given new life in the United States after conservative political commentator Candace Owens promoted this conspiracy theory on one of her shows in the Daily Wire on March 8th, 11th. The show titled, Is France's First Lady a Man? An episode that, by the way, seems to have been taken down.
Hey everyone! Oh my God, this one actually blows my mind. The guy who was there, didn't he seem a little bit mad about it? Why is everybody so mad that supposedly, okay, this is all alleged, that Brigitte Macron is a transgender? What if she is transgender? Why is everybody so mad about it? And also, I thought it was supposed to be like trans joy, and you're supposed to be all happy. Now, that being said, if she is a transgender woman, and she might want to be keeping it secret for some reason, I guess that really is her prerogative to do that. It's her private life. But when you become a public figure, all bets are off, and all of your dirty laundry gets put out on the internet. So this has been, I guess, I haven't really paid attention to the story. I just knew about it. I knew people were saying that, you know, she's a he and that she was born a man. And this is really an interesting story to me, because what if it's not that it's not possible, but I want to know why Brigitte Macron is pushing so hard against this and like so mad about it. But, you know, if you watch what I'm going to show you, you might kind of think, in my opinion, possibly could be true. I don't personally think it's a bad thing if she is, but I just found out a bunch of information about this person. And I guess that they were dating Emmanuel, the president of France, when he was 15 and she was like in her 40s. Full stop. That's a bit nuts. And that would be considered, wouldn't it, on some level? That's here in the United States, I think that's illegal, as it should be. Don't know about Paris France, whatever going on there. But let's watch a little bit more of this, because it's interesting, and the reason why this has come to the surface again.
In this episode, Owen's main claim is that Brigitte Macron and her brother Jean-Michel Trognon are actually the same person. She claims that Jean-Michel lived as a man for 30 years, fathered 5 children, and then transitioned at the age of 30 to become Brigitte.
Wow.
As proof, in her show, she used various photos, and notably this one, that is the alleged before and after photo of Brigitte's alleged transition, showing the similarities between Brigitte Macron and her brother. For instance,
That's funny. I should actually put a before and after of me. I should put a picture here of me as a girl, and then me as a man now, and see if I could say the same thing. I'm going to actually do that.
They point out the nose, the chin, the hairline, when in reality what we see is a picture of Brigitte Macron and her brother. Naturally, they look alike. As absurd as this may seem, Candace Owens went to Twitter following this show and said that she would stake her entire professional reputation on the fact that Brigitte Macron is in fact a man. And this tweet has been seen over 7.4 million times on the platform. Ironically enough, it seems that the Daily Wire did choose to part ways with Owens last week, not over crazy conspiracy theories, though, but over anti-Israel views. I guess that's where they draw the line.
Her entire professional reputation. It's an interesting use of words, isn't it, which don't really add up in the case of Candace Owens. What utter nonsense. Tell us more about the origins of these lies, basically.
So this guy is so mad. He's just so mad about the lies, okay? How do you know that they're lies? How do we actually know that?
At the origin of these lies, Natasha Ray, this woman who presents herself as an independent journalist, who started posting on her Facebook account that the First Lady would be a man in the middle of Macron's 2021 presidential campaign. Ray later discussed this rumor a few months later on December 2021 on a live broadcast with this psychic and TV YouTube personality, a broadcast that was seen over 450,000 times on YouTube. This is when this rumor went viral. This false information later appeared in this far-right magazine called Faits et Documents that dedicated several issues to the investigation into Brigitte Macron, called The Mystery of Brigitte Macron. As this publication was published, this fake news later started circulating on social.
See how they keep calling it all fake news, far right, disinformation. But how do we know that? Okay, let's just keep going.
Social media, mainly published by conspiracy theory sites and far-right accounts, as the hashtag Jean-Michel Trognon, the name of Brigitte's brother, generated more than 66,000 hashtags in December 2021 alone. Despite the First Lady having sued, the First Lady and her brother having sued those behind the rumors, Natasha and the psychic woman. Fast forward a couple years later, these rumors persist as strong as ever, so much so that President Macron just recently on March 8th on International Women's Day finally spoke out for the first time on camera against these rumors, claiming that these humiliations are unbearable and continue to exist.
Indeed, it is disgraceful. That's my point of view.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
wrong
right.
that we call these people journalists, because they clearly are not journalists. They've got nothing to do with the occupation of journalism, the noble trade that we do. And
this man is so mad. He's just so mad about it. But first off, what is journalism? It's actually looking for stories. And how do we know that it isn't true? Just because you're mad about it, or just because you think it's disgraceful. Also, isn't it a little bit rude to like say, oh, someone says you're trans? That's like the worst thing that someone can say about you, right? Why is that an insult to call the First Lady? She could be a transgender. I thought it was cool to be transgender. I thought it was okay. But it seems like you're a little bit too hurt by this idea that Brigitte Macron could be trans. It's just interesting to me that everyone is so mad about it, right? When you can say, that's just not true. That's just not true. Let's move on, right? That's, to me, that seems like, but it's just this this overly sensitive space to be called that. Like it just something about that. So the whole reason why this got brought up again is because, let me add this to the stage here. So those two ladies that said all that about her, the psychic and someone else, that just seems a little bit crazy. They accused her of Brigitte Macron of being transgender, and they had like a whole thing. And so the First Lady, Brigitte, went after them and tried to sue them, but the court overturned it and said that they aren't guilty and that they don't owe any money. Okay, so now the First Lady steps up to another legal battle. France's First Lady is taking her fight to the country's highest appeals court after two women were cleared by a lower court of spreading false rumors online that she used to be a man. So she's not letting up. She's pissed, and she's going after them again. So now I want you to see this.
You know how Candace Owens did this thing where she said that Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France, is a guy. And, well, we already know that she was in her 40s when she groomed a 15-year-old kid, and that became her husband.
I actually didn't know that until I started watching all of this stuff. So, yeah, like I said earlier, what?
And so she's been doing all this litigious stuff, trying to sue people to shut them up.
Yeah.
And the people she tried to sue, that the journalist...
What's the Shakespeare quote? Thou dost protest too much? Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Who broke this story who've been doing deep dives on it for over 3 years. She tried to sue them to shut them up. Well, guess what? French appeals court clears 2 over First Lady gender rumors.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's right.
Yep.
Disinformation on Macron's gender has circulated on social media for years. Disinformation. That's how they.
Yep.
It's not disinformation. She has also been attacked over the 24-year age difference with President. It's not their age difference. It's that he was a kid and she was in her 40s.
Yeah, you see how they write this stuff? He's so right. He's actually disinformation. No. How do you know it's disinformation? Okay, that's not true. But again, you got to watch the way these things are written, right? And if it was, the court would have totally agreed. But the court didn't agree, and the court let those 2 people off, which is very interesting to me.
How about that's not being attacked? How about that's being truthful about your relationship with an underage person?
This shows the control they have of the media. The 72-year-old First Lady, whose maiden name is Troganou, has a brother called Jean-Michel. Well, we never see them together or a picture of them together. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is interesting. And I want to know, has there been in recent sights of the brother anywhere? I would like to know. I mean, they don't necessarily have to be together, but is the brother out and about? If anyone knows that, if you could put that in the comments, I'd appreciate it.
Brigitte Macron filed a libel complaint against 2 women after they posted a YouTube video in December 2021 alleging she had once been a man named Jean-Michel. In the video, defendant Amandine Roy, a self-proclaimed spiritual medium, interviewed Natasha Ray, a self-described independent journalist, for 4 hours on her YouTube channel. And now they just won in court.
Yeah.
And now those people who this news article is trying to, I wish we would have got the Daily Mail one.
Self-described.
I don't know why we're
sounds
using.
like she did better than you. Paper that wrote this.
Ray spoke about the state lie and scam she claimed to have uncovered that a certain Jean-Michel Troganou had changed gender to become Brigitte, then married the president. They discussed surgery she was supposed to have undergone and revealed personal information about their First Lady's brother. You know, her parents, Brigitte's parents, were also involved in the transgender surgery stuff, right, Kurt? I'm not making that up.
I didn't know that.
No, 100%. In fact, every part of this makes it look like it's exactly the thing that Candace Owens said. Candace Owens didn't do this herself. She talked to all these people that did the research.
Right. She talked to the journalists. The claim went viral, including recently among conspiracy theorists in the United States.
See.
Conspiracy theorists. A lower court. Well, now the court.
See, if you have a different opinion, you're a conspiracy theorist, right? Or, I mean, supposedly this stuff is true. So how? And the other thing that I want to say is also Emmanuel, the president, is also getting really pissed off about it. Like everyone's pissed off that she could possibly be transgender.
Court also, I guess, must be a conspiracy theorist because the French court agreed with these people.
Yeah.
A lower court in September last year ordered the 2 women to pay 8,000 euros in damages and 5,000 euros to her brother. But the Paris appeals court on Thursday let them off, including over a false claim of a minor. It's not a false. Again, this. Why are we using this news report?
He was 15 years old.
He was 15 years old.
Well, they do things different in France, I guess.
What would you call that?
That's called grooming. If it was a 40-year-old guy and a 15-year-old girl, you'd call that grooming.
Good point.
We locked up Mary Kay Letourneau for this.
Yes,
Good
right.
point.
France with her boy husband.
Oh my God, great point. That's right. I also want you guys to know that I've been watching something I want to do pretty soon, a video on. I've been noticing that there are a lot of women who have been getting busted for SA with underage kids, like a lot of teachers. It's actually mind-blowing. I'm going to do a whole video on it. I can't even believe it. Every day another woman is caught having sexual relations with a 15 or a 14-year-old boy. It's mind-blowing. We don't talk about that.
The defendants will no longer have to pay the damages. The court did not provide further explanation. Here on the right is a photo from the return of Jean-Michel Troganou from his studies in Algiers. On the left, a photo of Brigitte. That's supposedly her brother, which they're never seen together. Ever.
Well, no one sees him at all.
No one ever sees him ever anymore anyway.
That's my
right?
point.
They could
See, I just answered my question. No one ever sees them together, ever. Don't you think that's a little bit weird?
end this whole
Not together. I mean, he's not even out. He's just not even out.
thing if they were seen together. They won't take a walk together or a photo. So that's him. That's her.
I mean, did they say he's alive still?
Where is he? So we asked Graf, where is he?
Oh,
there is no definitive public information confirming the current location of Jean-Michel Trogonot, the brother of Brigitte Macron. Public records and family genealogies confirm his existence as a member of the Trogonot family, but he has largely stayed out of the public eye, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories. Some sources indicate he may reside in France, with a LinkedIn profile suggesting a connection to Lily House. So there you go.
Wow.
I think he was cited pushing Macron's face on a plane.
So here's another question. When was the last public photo of Jean-Michel Trogonot taken? There are no verified public photos of this guy explicitly identified in recent sources.
Okay, come on, everybody. You don't think that's a little bit weird? I do. It's like I'm going to show you a picture of me before and now, and like, where is she? Where's my sister? How come you never see her anymore? Like, what? Of course. It's a little bit strange.
The most recent reference to a photo involving him was from 1977.
Before AI?
And fun fact, that's when Emmanuel Macron was born, 1977.
Isn't
tied
that
to a debunked conspiracy theory? Who tied it to that? And what was debunked?
Yes. So that's all conspiracy, except the court agrees with them now.
Wow.
Except nobody is suing Candace Owen for saying this. And they have yet to deny that she's a man. They won't do that.
Wow. I find the whole story fascinating to me, because what if she is? What if she's actually, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Seriously. But why are they trying to hide it so much? And why does everybody feel why does that other man on that news station seem to be so mad about the whole thing? Let me bring that guy up again. I didn't finish that video. Hold on here.
She's shown us, Kathleen, it seems that the fact that Brigitte resembles her brother is what this is all based upon. Like, I resemble my sisters. It's something to think about.
No, you don't.
It's just like family resemblance. Utter nonsense.
No, you
but
don't.
there's something far more nasty behind it all, isn't there? That's what's really the very nasty thing about this. And Brigitte Macron, not the only one, of course, who's been the victim of this kind of scurrilous nonsense.
Not the only one. She's not alone, as since at least 2018, former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama has been a constant victim of these type of rumors and...
Yeah, but Michelle doesn't talk about her brother. Michelle isn't like, yeah, me and my brother. She never... Also, nah, sorry. I personally, I don't believe that one. I could more believe the Brigitte Macron one. I actually could. So, that being said, this part is very interesting, and I think this is now, it's in French, so I'm going to try to read the subtitles, even though it's going fast. So I found this on Twitter, and I want to read this, and then I'm going to show you the video. Breaking: French surgeon Francois Favre, who vowed to expose Brigitte Macron's transgender past, has died after falling from a window in Paris. His death comes after French President Emmanuel Macron told people to stop speculating about his wife's gender. This is horrific. So this is fascinating to me. So how did the dude fall out the window, right? So I'm going to bring this video up.
Le 29 juin, un homme a
June
été
29th, the
retrouvé
man
mort
was
après une
found
interview
dead.
depuis sa fenêtre dans le 10e
Falling out of a
arrondissement de
window
Paris.
on
Le
the
bureau du
12th
médecin
part of
légiste a déclaré
Paris.
que
The medical
François Fèvre,
examiner's
âgé de
office
58 ans,
said
s'est suicidé.
Favre,
Il était
58,
chirurgien,
committed
travaillait dans
suicide.
une
He was
clinique
a surgeon
parisienne.
and
La
worked
sœur
in
de François
Paris.
Fèvre indique
His
affirme qu'il
sister
n'était pas
Anne
suicidaire et que
says
sa
that
mort est
he was
probablement
not
liée à
suicidal and
l'entretien
that
qu'il
his
devait
death is
donner.
probably
Selon
to the
Madame
end
Dupont, son
supposed to
frère
be,
est un
according
collègue
to
du
Mr.
célèbre docteur
Bond.
Monsieur Patrick Bouilly. François Fèvre.
Hold on, they're going so fast. Says that he was not suicidal, that his death is probably related to the interview he supposedly to give an interview. According to Mr. Her brother was a colleague of the famous surgeon, Mr. Patrick Boo. Okay, Mr. Patrick Boo. He promised to shed light on the controversial surgery operations of Brigitte Macron.
Chez cas controversé de Madame Brigitte Macron. Voici un extrait de la
Here
vidéo
is
de
the
son
footage
entretien
from the
avec le
video
journaliste du
of his
magazine
interview
Closer.
with journalists. He said, I still have a lot of information on the records and the medical records, copies of the medical records. I could tell you more about my work with Dr. Boo when we meet in person. I've worked at the American Hospital in Paris for 6 years. Dr. Boo was one of my closest colleagues. He shared a lot of information about his parents, about his patients, including about the wife of the French president. Yes, he told me about the physical changes that Macron underwent during the transgender surgery operation in the hospital. This is the dude that they found who supposedly committed suicide, and he was going to spill the beans on the transgender surgery.
Vous parlez là de son opération
Did
de
I understand
changement de sexe.
correctly about the
Pouvez-vous
sex
me
change?
raconter
Can you
un peu
tell me
plus en
in more
détail?
detail?
Du sujet des opérations
The type
chirurgicales
of Brigitte
transgenres de
Macron's
Brigitte
transgender
Macron est devenu de plus
surgeries,
en plus
because
virale en
increasingly,
2025.
wow, you guys, wow, just wow. So that's interesting that this dude who was going to spill the beans about the transgender surgery somehow fell out of a window and committed suicide. I just think there's a lot of stuff that points to this as a possibly could be a true story. I don't know what you think. I don't know what is true and not true, but this is like pretty much leaning towards it's a possibility, okay? So with that, leave awesome comments. Let's talk about this. I want to know what you think about it, and if you think it's true, or if it's just some right-wing conspiracy thing, or if it's just people trying to derail them. I don't know why you would, and why anybody would care if she was transgender anyways.
Gentlemen and female gentlemen, the transgender movement is 110% cooked. We have reached potentially a crazy level of cooked no one has seen before. Now, in case you are not up to date, Donald Trump, orange man, so orange, so big, won all 7 swing states. He's the president of the United States. Literally his first day in office, he was like, dog, 2 genders. Second day, dog, no more trans people in female sports. And it's been a very bad couple of months for the entire goddamn movement. So Brett Cooper made a video talking about the growing regret among trans teens. I think specifically talking about a lot of the insanity that comes with children doing sex change surgeries, which I think should have never ever been legalized ever. If a child can't consent to get a tattoo, a child shouldn't be able to consent to cut their dick off.
And here we are. This is what everyone thinks about the trans movement. It says everything when they call it a movement. It's not a community. It's not a medical space. It's not a disorder. It's not something that people need to use to move forward and be healthy. That's not how they're seeing this. So, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate it. I found this great video about, basically the downfall of the transgender movement. And this guy person, it's kind of an interesting channel, is going to really tell you and me what we all know and why the movement is taking a big dump. Because they are disingenuous. It's all built on a false foundation. It's completely embarrassing what he just said. Letting children have sex changes. I mean, come on. Told you, when you put kids into the mix, you're totally screwed. So here we go. So with that, thanks again for joining me. Thanks for liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, getting notifications, all the things that you do to really help this channel grow. I totally appreciate it. Really, it does. It means a lot to me. So let's finish watching a little bit more of this.
Actually insane shit. Like, holy fuck, unhinged, abusive levels of insane shit. But anyway, that's just my random cancelable take of the day. I would like to tell you something that I think is very, very prudent and important. The number one reason why the transgender movement is fucking getting cooked right now is because of transgender activists. They are some of the most insufferable people on the planet. Not like the random transgender fellow that just wants to, live their best life and do whatever they want with their life and whatever, and doesn't bother anybody. Literally no one cares about those people. I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that in a good way. Because the less people that care about me, the better my life is. So
Awesome. Brilliant. This guy is saying it all. It's the trans activists. They even know it. They know people like us exist, like me, transsexuals, Blair, Tori, all of us, right? Marcus. I mean, come on. This is so great because they're saying everything that we actual transsexuals have been saying. Those people don't represent us and they are disgusting and gross. And why this whole trans movement is going down. It is going down hard. And right out the gate, Trump just ripped it right out. Oh, transphobia, we're under attack. We didn't need our passports before, but now that Trump signed this, we got to run and get our passports. Like, what? Why would you go get your passport when you're basically going to get the passport that you don't want? That's how you can tell the whole thing is just so dumb and idiotic and built with a lot of immaturity, a lot of sneakiness, bad adults, bringing children into it, putting trans women in sports. Okay, well, here, let me just not get ahead of myself here because this person is really saying it all.
I mean, with love in my heart, I don't care about you at all. That's wonderful. But the fucking activist people, the ones that go out there, walking around the streets with their balls hanging out in front of children, dog, miss me with that bullshit. Going in prisons when you have, male to female trans people in female prisons, and then all of their prison roommates end up pregnant somehow. Like, come on, dude. What the fuck is happening? So anyway, now that the movement is completely cooked because of some of the most insufferable, illogical people on the planet, I guess we have to have a good time laughing at their downfall. We laugh at all downfalls on this channel. Equality downfall, all right?
Even I'm gonna laugh at their downfall because they don't represent. Those are trans activists. It is a movement. It is not a space for people who actually get diagnosed gender dysphoria, are adults, can make this choice, move forward, participate in the world like we always have. So this is just, I just love this video so much because it's just, I don't even have to say it. They're saying it all. Everything I know and the reason why the acceptance has gone down for transgender people and why we need to separate transsexuals from transgenders. It's so genius. The guy is just saying like, okay, trans women in prison, and all of a sudden people are getting pregnant in women's prison. Like, duh, men and women should not be in that space together. You are going to make babies. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
All downfalls are treated equally. This isn't being transphobic. Okay, maybe it is. But the point that I'm trying to make is I would laugh at anyone's downfall, okay?
So last week, I basically did my longest ever video in the history of Brett Cooper videos. I did a recap on Trump's first month in office, and a huge portion of that video was talking about his executive orders. I think he has signed more executive orders in this first month than any president in history, and as you guys saw, I am a huge fan of basically all of them. But within the
his executive orders have been, he's been cooking. He's been cooking.
This slew of executive orders with wide-ranging topics, there were 4 that addressed transgenderism, and I want to talk about those specifically today. Well, not just them in general, but about one issue in particular. And those executive orders, he did one that established that the United States only has 2 genders, which, it's a shock that even has to be established. He's also doing what he can to ban men from competing in women's sports. He is now...
Okay, that I think is my favorite example of, you're retarded if you don't agree. That is my favorite example of you are literally proving.
See, everything we've been saying. The first 2 ones right out the gate. 2 sexes and no men can compete in women's sports. I mean, really, people, how is this even anti-trans? The trans movement isn't about trans. It's not about trans at all. It's a misogynistic movement.
To the world that you are a retard if you don't agree. So there are definitely shades of gray with a lot of discussions, all right? And I could generally see both sides even when I am more inclined to believe in one. Like, when someone is going to tell me, like, I believe in socialism instead of capitalism or whatever, I'll be like, you know what? I hear where you're coming from, but socialism doesn't work. That would be my response, right? But I at least hear where you're coming from. I'm gonna piss off so many people in my fucking audience. That's just my opinion, okay? But dog, trans women in female sports, like, you are literally biologically designed to beat the fuck out of them. How is that appropriate in any possible way? And honestly, I think even most leftists agree with this.
Yes.
I think most trans people even agree with this.
Totally.
I just think it's the vocal minority screaming retards on
Yes.
Twitter cesspits farming likes off each other. And those are the people that fucked it for everyone else. That's my...
It's so great. He's just nailing it, talking points. The cool thing is the dude's not transphobic in any way, shape, or form at all. I'd probably hang out with the dude. Like, I just think he's hilarious. And I just love when people say it. Just say it. And that's really actually it. Like, stop trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes that trans women are women and they could go and play with women in sports. And the South Park, if you haven't seen the South Park, it's old school. It's just genius. It just shows there's a big dude on there. I beat the women. It's just so dumb, but it's not transphobic. I just want to let this dude know you're not transphobic in any way, shape, or form. You came right out the gate and said it. I know that real trans people do not in any way, they're just too scared to say it, which is actually really sad.
My opinion.
Now keeping transgender members out of the military, and lastly, he cut federal funding for the chemical and
I didn't realize that was a whole separate. I didn't realize that was a whole separate executive order keeping trans people out of the military. Well, the truth is, sad as it is, the suicide rate for trans people is astronomically high. You could blame a million reasons for it, but ultimately, you don't want people in the most stressful.
Actually, that I'm gonna push back on that one right there because that narrative goes around. No, it is not high. Ideation, okay? Taking yourself out, ideation. I'm gonna have to obviously blank that out, but I don't know how he's getting away with all these words and these things, right? I don't know. I'm gonna actually maybe try to leave it in and see what happens. But that being said, no, it's ideation. It's not the actual act of unaliving yourself that's happening. The ideation, but many kinds of people have that kind of ideation, okay, unaliving themselves. So I won't say it's higher than the ideation might be higher, but but not the actual act of it.
Position in the world, literally being in the military. You don't want those people to have any possible extra reason for them to inflict self-harm. Someone in my chat just said, I'm a trans woman, I don't care for sports, and I understand biology. I'm telling you, I think 90% of trans people are against, trans men and women's sports, whatever.
Surgical mutilation of children. And that is what I want to...
Yeah, that's shocking that was ever allowed. That is one of those things that, again, shocking it was ever allowed. You have a child that can't consent to sex, can't consent to tattoos, can't consent to fucking anything.
Wow.
But they could say, I want my cock chopped off, and that'll happen. Like, that is insane. And my favorite thing, dude, this is literally my favorite thing ever. Every time this topic comes up in a debate, the leftist in the debate that's supposed to be arguing for pro-sex changes on children, the first thing that they say is, how often does that really happen? And the answer is it only happened like a few times in the entire United States.
No, it did not happen only a few times. It happened a lot of times, okay? So actually that's not true, but I'll let you just go on.
It doesn't matter, okay? You are putting into law that you can cut the dicks off children. Okay, what the fuck are you talking about?
Totally.
The correct answer should be 0. If it's any more than 0, then the country failed. And I hate that debate tactic because it's so slimy.
Yeah.
It's like, how often did it happen? It doesn't matter, retard.
Focus on today. And obviously, there was outrage over every single one of these 4 executive orders.
Yeah, I love outrage. I love outrage. Outrage is fun. Outrage is based. We take them. Angry people, they make me alive. God, I love angry people.
Unlikely as Congress stands right now that any of these will be passed as bills, even though I would love them to, considering that every single Democrat in Congress voted against passing a bill that would keep men out of women's sports just last week. And I want you to hear that again. Every single Democrat. And that issue specifically, as we discussed last week, is not even controversial. Studies have shown that 70% of Americans on a baseline believe that men, biological men, should not compete against women.
I think
it's why they keep trying to take biology out of the equation. As you know, I talk about it all the time. Biology is a social construct. This is real. When you put hormones in, I magically become a woman. That's not true. That is not. I am still a female. I've been on testosterone more than probably 90% of these people saying that stuff. I'm still female. Didn't change my DNA or my chromosomes. So that's why they try to twist the words around like that.
more than 70%. I just think that there's another 10% that are scared to say it because then they won't feel like an ally. That's my opinion.
Damn, dude.
I really believe that. I think that there's so much like generalizing and social programming that makes you feel like you're an enemy to the people.
Yes.
You clearly don't care about other people's struggles and shit like that. And those guys are fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Stop being a pussy.
Funny.
Don't be a bitch. Say what you think. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
So someone on Twitter is going to be angry at you. Boo fucking who. Get a life.
So
and these
good.
people that are in Congress that are supposed to represent us, that are supposed to represent that 70%, overwhelmingly, every single one of them voted no. So I think that just kind of gives you an overview of where our government stands right now. And so what needs to change in order to push any of these bills through to make these into law so that they can't just be undone by another president 4 years from now? Well, in my opinion, people need to be hit in the face with the facts about these procedures and the lasting effects that they have on people, specifically on developing minds, specifically on American children.
So Brett Cooper goes on to talk about the statistics in the Oxford Journal. Remember, I think I read those on another one of mine. If you guys want that, I should just put a link to it in the description of this video, because it actually, she goes on to state how it's a high rate of anxiety, depression, wanting to have unaliving themselves after you get surgery. So they did the study with over 107,000 participants. So, the studies show it doesn't work. It's very rare. People like me make it through because we do the work, and there is definitely people who need this medication. There's no doubt about it, but it is a long-term commitment, and you have to go through a huge system that they're not doing now, and they've just literally destroyed everything. So, this guy, it goes on for a long time, and I'll put a link to his video because he's really great. I actually really like his commentary, and he really just says it as it is. And I always love people who say it as it is. And what I'm trying to prove with his video is that people don't hate transsexual or transsexual people. They don't. They hate dumbasses, and they hate people who lie, steal, and cheat. And when we come to the table, honestly, with who we are and biology and why we need to do this, and that it's a disorder, and that, all of the things that you lay out so that people can have some compassion for us, people are willing to let us live our lives. But when you come to the table with these new trans activist nonsense, what he just said, he blew it out. He said, exactly, these people are crazy. They're wingnuts. They're nuts. They're doing stuff to kids and men in prisons. And, it's a misogynistic movement. So anyway, I just really thought it was a great video to react to, because it really just says everything I'm saying. And I can show you that I'm aligning with the people who I'm here self-preservation on some level, because I want this medicine to be around for the next generation of adults who need it and the people who actually need it. So with that, I have like I found 3 or 4 different little TikToks to react to, because they're just absurd, you guys. They're absurd. How are these people even functioning in life? So
I'm getting bottom surgery in 5 days, and when they do the surgery, they're going to put packing inside to make sure that everything stays open. And 5 days after the surgery, they're going to remove the packing. And I really want to play this specific song when they're removing the packing, so that it'll be like this. It's like a clown, except it's my vagina.
That is the reason why. That's a trans activist. Okay, putting that insanity out on the internet. Nobody cares about your vagina and how you're going to get it packed full of some kind of stuff, and then they have to pull it out like a clown show. Like, you're literally making a clown show out of something that's supposed to be making you a better person. You're just proving it's a full-on clown show. And now you all are talking about how you're clownfishes. I mean, what? That dude in that video was so right on. You people are actually mentally insane. So let me bring up this next one.
Gay men. Yeah, but we're fan presenting, so we were just shouting it. We were shouting that we were trans gay men, because we are. Trans gay men! What is it?
Let me understand something. You're a trans gay man fan presenting. Walk with me here. Now, a trans man is a woman that has transfigurated, transformed, metamorphosis, backwards, reverse, into a man. Alright? Cool. You said you're a trans gay man. We have that covered. Fan presenting. So you're presenting as a woman. So what you're telling me now is that you're a trans man, a woman that transfigurated into a man, only to then pretend to be a woman. This is a sickness.
Bam! This is a sickness. How can you think people aren't going to think it's a sickness? You're transitioning to be a gay, femme, trans man, whatever that is, and then, but you transition from a woman to be a man, but to also look like a woman, but to be a gay man. None of it makes sense. That's actually totally sounds completely insane and ridiculous, and we're just feeding into it and letting these kids do this stuff and destroying everything that's helped me become a better person. So on some level I can laugh at it, on the other level I'm just disgusted by the whole thing, and I feel so mad about it because, like, why is this happening? Did you even read what that said? It says bonding with my child who identifies as a squirrel. What? Come on. I know I pretty much think this is a joke, but the reason it's a joke is because people are actually doing that, letting their children identify as animals and cats and dogs and furries and all of these things. So, you know, this is coming from the trans community. Insulting. I have one last one for you all. You're going to hate me. I just had to do it because I saw it and I'm just like, what? What? I took the music out because I'm being copyright. Right? I know. This. That's it. Says it all. That's the trans community for you. And it's going down, the downfall of the trans community. So with that, I mean, hopefully this stuff ends really soon because kids are getting hurt. And, you know, that's not the funny part. But the other stuff, these people are nuts. And they're just latching on to something to be seen. And what the guy said, like, get, like, you know, Twitter likes and all the, you know, just this total validation for whatever the heck. You've never had anything in your life, so now you can be trans and get tons of validation. So anyway, thank you all so much. I guess I'm going to leave you with it's going. I really do think it's going. More and more people are seeing it. And the great thing is that they're seeing more people like myself and all of us who really just want to get back to a normal space.
Dear cis women, they don't want you to know that I am not your enemy. They don't want you to know that I am not a threat to you. They don't want you to know that by fighting against trans rights, you are upholding the very patriarchy that holds you down. They don't want you to know that our liberation is inextricably linked. And they especially don't want you to know that the patriarchy itself crumbles when I am allowed to freely exist.
No.
So what do you say? You want to burn it down together?
Wow. First off, welcome back to my channel. We're going to get into this one. I have some good ones to totally laugh at. These people are laughable. Sorry, but first off, maybe you should stop calling women cis women, okay? They've been asking you to stop doing that forever, but you continue to do it. Secondly, you are the patriarchy. You are literally the patriarchy. Don't you can't get your head around the fact that you are biologically male. It's cool that you want to transition and live your life looking like a woman or being a woman or whatever that even means. You know, no, you can't, you know, people ask me that question all the time. What does it mean to be a man? How the heck do I know what it means to be a man? I'm not a man. Okay. Like, it's just crazy. I can't answer that. And any male to female transgender person cannot answer the question, what does it mean to be a woman? You cannot answer that because you don't know what it means. You have feelings of wanting to look this way and walk the world this way, but you have no clue. So everything you said is just a joke. It's an actual joke. And look, let me tell you how you're going to end the patriarchy. If you step down, sit down, let women continue to have their spaces, you don't get invited to all the party. Okay, have your own pity party, but like, you just don't get invited to everything just because you're a trans woman and you think that you're going to be like hand in hand walking the world with women. Maybe women don't want that. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe. So with that, I'm going to move on. I got some good ones. Let's just get into this. I felt like making fun. I felt like laughing today. You know, some of this stuff is so heavy and gross. And it's just, I'm calling them out. I'm so tired of it. I'm just going to call them out. Just going to call them out today. Today's call out day for the pity party. Okay, so here's the second one.
Trans folks, how do y'all handle like family members, coworkers, friends friends in your life who don't cast you out for being trans, but they also like don't really talk about it. Like they might get your pronouns right, they might avoid them. It's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell situation, like where they kind of half-ass accept you. How do y'all handle people like that? I'm just curious.
Well, here, let me tell you how, buddy. Not everyone's going to be okay with you transitioning. It sounds to me like everyone's being super chill with you, dude. Like, what do you want them to do? Like, it is so crazy. You people, if it's never good enough. It's never good enough. You always have to keep pushing it. It's like, oh, they're half-ass accepting me. No, maybe they're just accepting you the way they need to accept you, okay? Maybe they're accepting me, but like, how do you deal with the fact that it's just, it's barfy? And I'm just going to expose this nonsense, you guys. They don't want it to be better. They want to be victims. It is so clear to me every single day when I get on that toxic TikTok. Every single day, I'm like, no one wants a solution. Because if there's a solution to the problem that they seem to keep generating, then there will be no more of this. Okay? There'll be no more of this. So, whatever, dude. Just go back home and say hi to everybody and chill out with your family.
It's been 3 weeks of publicly being a trans woman, and there's a few things that I want to clear up. I've received a lot of hate comments over the last few days, and a good chunk of them actually come from other trans women, which is really sad, but besides the point. Yes, I am a trans woman. No, I'm not a passing trans woman. Yes, I am 3 weeks into my transition journey and 3 weeks into hormone replacement therapy. No, I'm not going into female spaces or women's bathrooms or asking and demanding that random strangers on the street refer to me as she, her. Simply transitioning. I am going through the process. I'm documenting it here. I'm not asking anything of anyone here. And I think if you're a trans woman and you're on my page and your only goal is to break me down, if that's the ideology that you think is going to get us as a community through these next 4 years in this current juncture, politically, socially, we are just vastly different people. And if you're trans and you're on my page, I promise to always uplift you. This is a safe space, even for the girls who are sending me nasty comments all the time. Like, I'm never gonna do that.
Okay. Safe space. This is a safe space. I'm out of here then. I don't want to be in the safe space with you. Also, this stuff, like, before TikTok, trans people just did their thing. They wouldn't even go out of the house and say they were trans, looking like that. Okay, good for you. I'm happy you're a trans person. Why are you documenting it publicly and thinking you're not going to get pushback, dude? Are you out of your mind? Especially from trans women. Okay, so no, that it just shows you right there. Don't think that there aren't trans women like me. There are a lot of them. Okay, and there's a lot of trans guys like me. We're over this nonsense, and nobody cares that you're trans. Okay, nobody cares that you're documenting your journey. If you are going to document your journey publicly looking like that, okay, and you know exactly what I mean, you're going to get a ton of pushback. Why don't you go do your private little transition thing, get yourself looking like the way you want to look as a woman, okay, and get back out into the world again like you're supposed to do. I'm going to keep calling you out. You're just doing it for attention. 100%. Nobody cares about your transition, okay? Nobody, including the trans women. Barf. Okay, so, okay. Oh, God. Help me. Help me. Just help me.
You have to be so strong to be trans in the United States right now, because you really have to choose between being yourself or having other people's approval. And I know that's not across the board. It does exist, though. Wait a sec. Jasmine. And then, on top of all of that, every day we have to wake up and look at the news and read all of these transphobic headlines, executive orders, and bills, and the administration trying to literally erase our existence.
The pity party. It's such a pity party. It's so woe is me. I have to get up and look at the news every day and all the trans. How about not getting up and looking at the news? Have you ever tried that? That's what I do. I don't look at the news because the news is completely insane. And it's like you're hunting for the transphobic remarks. And also, how hard is it for you to live in the world? Are you insane? First off, you look like a dude. So I can't even imagine that you get any pushback until you open your mouth and say, I'm trans, because you all got to tell the world that you're trans. So if you never said, I'm trans, and you just walk the world like you're supposed to as a trans person, just fitting right in, then you wouldn't get any pushback and you wouldn't feel like it's so hard for me to live in the world. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I'm calling you out. No, it is not. It's hard for you to live in the world because you're making it hard to live in the world. And guess why we have executive orders? Because you started messing with the children, okay? And then trans women started saying, trans women are women, and we get to go everywhere women get to go, whether you like it or not. And then that started to create a whole, and guess what? Trans women are women, and they can run against every woman out there and beat them and make new records. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. We're going to crush the patriarchy, as a man says that. Oh my God, you people. Today I'm on a rampage. And at the end of this, I'll tell you why. Okay, so we got a couple more of these things to go through here. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry.
Dakota's right. Numbers show that white lesbian women and white gay men are not, in fact, supporters of the trans community. Facts. It's disgusting.
Facts.
The LGBTQ plus community, the internalized homophobia, the rampant transphobia, and the rampant racism that happens is mind-boggling and absolutely disgusting.
This one actually totally gets me. It's like, really? White, what is it? White gay and lesbian women don't support trans? Are you insane? So because of gay men, mostly happen to be white, by the way, who supported my transition to get to this space. So no. You always got to make it race. You always got to pull out the, it's so embarrassing when you're this little white person saying it's all racist. And did you notice the wording? Internalized homophobia, but not internalized transphobia. Everything is about gays being bad now. Everything is about cisgender people being bad now, but they never, ever take responsibility for their own actions, right? So, Missy, I am going to show you something right now that I can just completely stomp on your whole thing. Watch this.
Transphobic, transsexual. Buck Angel is at it again, bitch, and I'm on a rampage today because I am just so sick and tired of his bullshit, and the fact that he's white just makes it even angrier. Like, you mayonnaise smelling ass bitch. Why? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back.
Bring it back.
Hold on. Down. So this pasty motherfucker gonna take somebody's story, somebody else's story,
yeah,
and post about it.
Yeah.
The person is a seahorse dad.
Okay, there it is right there. There it is. I think you might have seen this one already, but I had to put it with that one because it just blows that other person's little white people are racist story right out, right out the hole. So this guy is a what they call seahorse dad, and so he got mad because I posted about seahorse dads, and he got all racist straight to the bone because he couldn't handle it, and like just all his racism just came boiling out. And then I bet you he regrets ever posting that one on the internet because it's literally everywhere now. So, stop saying that. Just stop saying white people don't support, white people are racist. Why? I can prove you. Oh, did you guys all remember Blossom? Me and Blossom? And Blossom went straight out the gate on Amala's Epinobi's podcast that I did, where Blossom came straight out the gate saying that I said things, racist terms. And I'm like, what? No. So bull. I'm nope, yanking your chain. They're out. Get out of my way. So these people are so nuts. Okay, last one. Here we go.
Hi, I'm a trans girl with BPD. I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass. That's okay. I know that I can't. But I'm a gender fluid doll. I've never been upset with that. Look at me. What's your stud name? I like that I give this, whatever this is. Y'all are confused? Maybe you're not. I don't always want.
Okay, like literally, you're confusing, actually. So there you go, right? And also co-opting that word dolls. A doll is somebody like Tori. Tori's a doll. I think Blair's a doll. Like dolls are trans women who really make themselves like ultra pass and really make an effort to be like very beautiful women. So, you know what? Whatever. Now there's non-binary dolls. I bet the dolls are pissed about that one because they're not co-opting that space. But I don't need to pass. I'm a trans woman and I'm a like you're just mixed up as you're clearly Looney Tunes, loop diddy loop. So before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be posting about the reason I'm in this like sort of mood today is because I went to here in LA, there was ACLU was like having this little booth in front of this farmer's market that I go to sometimes. And then somebody called me and they said, Buck, they're promoting puberty blockers. And I'm like, what? So I got my little butt over there and I totally was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Da, da, da. And I got in their faces and I put it on my Instagram, but I think I'll use it for a video soon. And like, I literally lost it, but you know, it's my passion. It's literally my passion. It's my passion coming out. I look, you could call me aggressive, but you know, I'm tired of them. I basically give them their own medicine, right? That person could not say anything to me. And then they got the police, they came and I'm like, you can't tell me to not do this. I'll talk about it later, but I just want to let you know, like they literally got people to come over and try to shut me down. I'm like, no, I'm on public property. I'm a tax-paying. You cannot tell me to not do this. Okay. So get out of my face. And I'm going to sit here as long as ACLU puts their booth on a public space. I can stay here and I can do it. So that's why I'm in this kind of rambunctious mood today. And I just felt like I'm just, I just, you know, I have fun making fun of them because they're ridiculous. And so anyway, I just want to let you know, thank you guys a lot. Really, I can't do this without you. And you're really helping this channel grow. And really, we're really fighting this fight in a way that they're scared of us. They are really seeing that we are coming after them and they will not continue to do this to children. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not. And together, me and you know, I'm not going to get emotional right now. Every time I say kids, I can hear my voice because I don't care. I will not be part of this insanity. And it's going to come back tenfold on these crazy nut people and who think they're trans and all of this stuff. So I got another good reaction video coming out tomorrow too. And, I'm just going to pick this stuff apart little by little. I'm just going to chip. I'm so sad to have to do this one.
The suspect in the Minneapolis Catholic school shooting that killed 2 children and injured 17 people is dead. And this is everything we know so far about the gunman, and it's pretty dark. On Wednesday morning around 8:30 a.m., 23-year-old Robin Westman opened fire through stained glass windows of Annunciation Catholic Church during a back-to-school mass that was packed with children. In a post on X, political commentator Nick Sorter wrote, quote, Robin Westman, previously Robert Westman, the Minneapolis Catholic school shooter, was a man who identified as a woman. He also said Westman began identifying as trans as a minor, which was signed off by their parents per court records. And their name was originally Robert until it was changed in 2020. The shooter's mother is also believed to have worked at the school when the gunman was a student, retiring 4 years ago. According to the New York Post, police are currently investigating a 20-minute YouTube video believed to have been associated with Westman under the channel name Robin W. posted after the shooting. The channel has since been deleted. The video shows diary pages written in both English and Russian, including a manifesto.
Well, I would like to say welcome back to the channel, but I feel so upset about this whole thing that I'm just disgusted. And you know, I said I was gonna say this. I told you so, not just me, but many of us transsexuals told you so, that this was going to happen. It's been happening. It is going to escalate. And here we are with dead children, wounded children, dead adults, attacking places of worship, the insane language coming out of this adult's mouth who transitioned as a minor. I mean, so many layers to this story that we have all on this channel, on many other channels, been telling you. If we don't put the brakes on this, it is going to explode. So welcome back. I do appreciate you. I can't do these stories and I'm going to have a hard time not crying, but I'm not. So that being said, I'm going to focus on this. And what I'm going to focus on today is the actual shooter. I don't care what anybody, you know what's going on here. I'm sending out so much of my praise and to the people who have helped with this situation, to all the families who have been hurt by this, to the space of worship that has been hurt by this, to all the little children who have now, probably the ones who survived, will have to live with this for the rest of their lives. The ones that have perished from this earth because of some psychopath. It's just mind-blowing to me. And you know how I feel about the kids. And just no. So I'm going to focus on the shooter, okay? Because the left and the right and the middle and the everyone is making sort of political statements here. And of course that's going to happen. There is no doubt in my mind that will happen. And they can do that. But for me, I want to focus on this problem. Okay. It is escalating. It is wrong. The fact that the trans activists continue to push this narrative, and there are people out there saying, oh, the poor trans community. No, just no, not poor trans community. Okay. Poor parents who lost their children, poor people who got injured over some person who identifies as trans. And I have been telling you, the identity of trans is not transsexual. And this person is a mentally deranged, crazy person who took on the identity of trans to hide under it. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I found today that I will just show you. I have been saying it over and over and over again. Okay, so with that, I'm escalating here. I feel it. I am so sorry, but I cannot control myself. I'm going to finish this one video here, and then we're going to move on to some other stuff I have. So thanks for liking, subscribing, helping this channel grow. You know what I feel about that. So thank you so much. Let's get into the rest of this video here.
Video shows diary pages written in both English and Russian, including a manifesto with an apology to the shooter's family. A voice says they're sorry to their family, but not the children. Westman then allegedly tells their parents not to blame themselves for the shooting, writing, quote, "I was corrupted by the world and have learned to hate what life is," end quote. Also writing they've been suicidal and depressed for years. Westman also believed they had lung cancer and didn't want to die in a hospital bed. There's also this drawing of the church, which Westman stabs repeatedly, saying, quote, "I'm going to blank myself." The video also pans to bullets and gun weaponry on a bed with messages written on them like this. Some of them saying hatred, where is your God, names of former school shooters, kill pedos, kill Trump now, burn Israel, nuke India, just to name a few. Westman died at the scene of self-inflicted gunshot wounds and was armed with a shotgun, rifle, and handgun.
Wow. So all you trans activists out there, oh no, they're gonna use trans. Yes, they are, including me. Okay, this person is a nutcase. Okay, they needed some mental health care. They are not trans, because I'm going to show you. Okay, anyone can self-identify as trans. What does it even mean to be trans anymore? What does it even mean? Okay, this person is sick. I don't care that they identified as trans. We have to talk about it. And when you keep acting like, oh, we have to be for our trans community, you know what we need to do? We need to start taking these people and putting them up there so that we can show you that this is a mental disorder and that you need a long-term space to understand what's going on. I am so livid and so mad that this just keeps escalating in the trans space. So to all you activists out there, I'm holding some of you responsible for putting people like this in a space to be able to self-ID as trans. So with that, I also want to show you, I'm just so mad for those kids and those parents and everyone, and kids lost their life. Are you insane, people? How are we ever going to even recover from this nonsense that keeps happening? Stop blaming guns. Stop blaming that trans people. Stop. It's mental health. It is mental health, period. Okay? Yes, the gun was in the hands of a mentally ill person who just legally got the guns. You're never going to get rid of guns in this country, whether you like it or not. Nor will you get rid of transsexual people. But I, as a transsexual, need gatekeeping. We need gatekeeping for guns. We need to understand how to get a gun, who can get a gun, why somebody can get a gun, not just wingnuts like this. That is where we need to come together as left, right, center, whatever we all are here, and understand this is deeper than that. It's not just a trans issue. It's not just a guns issue. It's not just a right or a left. It's an issue of us as people. So just come on, man.
I want to make sure that we are providing the most accurate information possible, particularly as we speak around our victims. At this point, we know we have a total of 19 victims from this tragedy. 2 were young children, ages 8 and 10, that were sitting in the pews at Mass when they were shot and killed. They were pronounced deceased on the scene. There were another 14 children between the ages of 6 and 15 that were injured by gunfire. There were also 3 adults in their 80s that were parishioners here attending Mass that were also shot in this incident. The families of all of the children that have been affected have been notified. The coward that shot these victims took his own life in the rear of the church. That coward has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman. No prior criminal history. As to the weapons used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All 3 had been lawfully purchased by the shooter.
And there you go. They were lawfully purchased by the crazy psychopath. Okay? So if you notice, they're calling him he. And I'm going to call him he too. Okay? And I'm going to show you why. First off, number 1, you don't get any respect from me, buddy. Also, you offed yourself. See you later, alligator. Thank God we don't have to deal with you anymore. And I'm serious. I don't care what people think. No. That person does not get respect from me, in my opinion. I don't care what you think about me or what. This is where I'm coming from. You don't get to have the respect of being trans anymore. You just blew it. Okay? So number 1. Number 2 or 3, I don't know. I always lose count when I do that. But I'm going to show you right now why I want to show you this and why I found so much stuff about this person. This person is crazy. The manifesto, that's just it. Another manifesto. Like Wingnut. Okay, and the craziness, I'm not going to go reading them out. I have some stuff here, other people reading it, and I'm pinpointing again on the trans aspect of all this and what was going on in this person's head, okay? So and also just media all over it in a way that's so politicized, it's disgusting.
On social media, some conservative activists have seized on the shooter's gender identity to portray transgender people as violent or mentally ill. The right-wing uproar over Ms. Westman's gender identity echoed the politicized reaction to a 2023 mass shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, which was carried out by a former student whom the police said was transgender. In a news conference, Mayor Jacob Fry of Minneapolis, a Democrat, urged the public to avoid scapegoating transgender people, unquote.
Avoid scapegoating transgender people? No one's scapegoating transgender people. How many more violent, crazy trans people do we need to show you? They're like, kill TERFs, kill J.K. Rowling. They're insane. I keep showing you this. There is mental illness at its finest. No, we're not scapegoating. I'm transsexual. I get to talk about this. I'm not scapegoating anyone, okay? And you see how it is. The left is all about Miss Weissman or Westman, you know, and then the right is like, it's a dude. And like, I'm telling you, it is so all over the place. Focus on this person. Why are they identifying as trans? Why do they think they're trans? Why did they do this? They have extreme mental health problems. They changed their name when they were 17 and became trans, okay? So we're not scapegoating any trans. This is an actual trans-identified male who thinks they're a woman, okay? So just stop. Stay on the facts, people. So now I want to show you this next part of that.
And this story might give them pause as well. The New York Post, which unlike the Times does not try to smother inconvenient facts, has reported that Westman was, quote, tired of being trans, unquote. According to the newspaper, Westman's manifesto included this: I only keep the long hair because it is pretty much my last shred of being trans. I am tired of being trans. I wish I never brainwashed myself, he wrote.
Okay, there you go. I wished I never brainwashed myself. I am tired of being trans. He's actually saying it right there. Everything we've all been saying. This person is too scared to say they're actually a man because the transgender community will come after you. That's what a detransitioner is. When they actually realize they have been indoctrinated into an ideological space called trans. And then they realize, whoops, I'm not really, but I'm too scared to say it because now I'm brainwashed to think I'm trans. And if I do it, my loving love is love. Anyone can be here. We all love you. Like, we'll come after you just like a cult and wipe you out. So this person is saying so much that we need to listen to. Okay, we need to listen to this person who thinks they are trans, who is no longer trans, and does not want to even be trans. Listen, people. This is actually very important what this person is saying and why we can stop these insane shootings of kids and adults and people and the attack on all kinds of faiths out there. It is wrong. It's wrong behavior. And until we get to the crux of this trans identity in these young, the video I did before this, showing you that young 14 and 13-year-old talking about finding the therapist that okayed them and advocate. This is a 13-year-old saying that. This person started at 17. So now I am going to show you this.
As far as his commitment to the transgender ideology, Robin had conflicted feelings. He wrote, quote, I only keep the long hair because it is pretty much my last shred of being trans. I am tired of being trans. I wish I never brainwashed myself. I can't cut my hair now as it would be an embarrassing defeat, and it might be a concerning change of character that could get me reported. It just always gets in my way. I will probably chop it on the day of the attack, unquote. Robin indicated he did not want to dress girly all the time, but sometimes he liked to. He wrote, quote, I know I am not a woman, but I definitely don't feel like a man. I look pretty, smart, and modest. I think I want to wear something like this for my shooting, unquote.
If you all don't see that, okay, if you all don't see, this is literally what Robert wrote in their manifesto. And I'm telling you, I'm blaming the trans activists, the community for going after detransitioners, okay? Because this person probably could have backed out of this situation if people would have been, okay, it's okay, you made a mistake, kiddo, it's totally fine. Let's talk about it. I don't know. They seem way far gone, so I'm not really sure. All I'm saying is they are saying it right there. They're already embarrassed. They're too embarrassed to admit to the mistake. We should never let young people feel embarrassed about any mistake they make. Mistakes are important. But when you make it so nobody can like apologize or make a mistake or feel bad about it, that this is the kind of, it escalates them. And so again, trans community, you're fake and you're wrong and you're ideological and you're disgusting. And part of this is you. So wait, I have more. Watch this.
As far as Robin's gender identity, he was confused, not feeling like a man or like a woman. Once he identified as a woman, he felt embarrassed to admit his mistake, so he had to maintain that identity. He was stuck with being a woman. Furthermore, he believed identifying as a man would raise a red flag as far as his mental health, thereby jeopardizing the attack he had planned. Robin's status as transgender has caused a lot of people to wonder how that fits into the equation. If a person is transgender, are they at a greater risk to carry out this type of attack? According to the research literature, a person who is transgender is not more dangerous than anyone else.
Okay, so that's very important, okay? That is extremely important. You cannot lump all trans people, transsexual people into one space, just like you can't lump all Christians or all Catholics or all people who are in certain groups of people. You can't do that. I think all of us here who are in sound mind understand that, okay? So that's what they mean by scapegoating on some level. No, but you can have the conversation of this person being mentally ill and not getting the actual help they need, but being ideological, spun out on maybe I'm transgender and then making them spin out anymore. You need to understand how dangerous this transgender ideology has become. So the next piece I have here, which is another really important piece.
The role that the transgender ideology plays in this case is not causal. Rather, a profound commitment to this belief system can obscure mental health symptoms that should be the focus of treatment. Here's what I mean by this. A substantial number of mental health clinicians are firmly invested in the transgender ideology. They believe that a lot of people are actually transgender, but those people don't identify as such due to societal judgment. There is a stigma around being transgender.
There's a stigma around being transgender, okay? Yes and no, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. So we need to understand the difference between an actual transsexual person who lives as a male or female and transgender ideological space, which is what Dr. Grande is telling you, is a different way of being. They identify as trans, okay?
In order to promote this ideology, there's a tendency to attribute symptoms like depression and anxiety to this judgment. So people being judgmental caused the symptoms, and the symptoms can be remedied by identifying as the opposite gender. So instead of blaming distorted thoughts, family problems, substances, genetics, or other factors, the clinicians blame society's skepticism about the transgender ideology. They believe they are doing the right thing, but this is actually a destructive pattern. What they're doing is claiming that serious symptoms can be solved simply by becoming transgender. But there is no scientific reason to believe that. These clinicians are providing an incorrect evaluation of their clients. They are blaming the mean scientists who defined male and female, rather than actually conducting a proper assessment of the client.
Bam. That's it. I'm telling you, it's so everything I've been trying to say, but Dr. Grande can say it better than me because I get so emotional. These people are not being assessed properly. Hence, right? Gender affirmation therapy. One session. I've proven it to you in many of my videos. And exactly right. These therapists think by just being trans, all of these mental problems are going to go away. Instead of what he said, it could be hereditary. It could be substance abuse. It could be depression. It could be so many other things that are happening with these, dealing maybe with their coming to sexuality. There's just a layer of things. Instead of, you cannot assess somebody's mental health problem in one sitting. Affirmation therapy is dangerous and probably why this person thought they were trans. They might have been affirmed in one session. So this is where we are going to benefit from this person's sick ass manifesto. But if we take it as a community of transsexuals and we say, see, this is why we need to get rid of transgender ideology. And we need to go back to gatekeeping, mental health, understanding this is a mental disorder that takes many years to understand. No child can understand this. No 17-year-old should be changing their gender identity. No, wrong. And so if that's one thing we can learn from this tragedy, is that we are on the wrong path as a trans, and I don't know why I say we, because I'm not part of that, but I'm just going to say the transgender community is on the wrong path. You are destructive. You are wrong. You are abusing young people. You are creating insane people because you're not understanding the real layers of what gender identity even means. And that is really what I want to get out of this video. And I'm going to tell you that if we keep going down this path, there are going to be more young people like this who are going to lose their lives over some ridiculous idea that you can change your gender and you can be whatever you want to be. And we are feeding into mental illness that is out of control, and innocent young kids are getting lost in this and being killed by psychopaths who are using trans as a means and a way to navigate the earth. And more and more and more crazy people are latching onto trans, and it is wrong, and I will not be a part of this. So I'm sending my love to the families, and I just, I told you I wasn't going to cry, but how can I not? How can I not? Just how can I not? How can you not? Like, come on, man. Let's get it together here. Okay, so you and I together can stop this shit from happening.